right, with that story, we'll move on. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Thursday Trivia. I'm your host and the Quizmaster, Mike Brever. We've got a great show for you today. Any of you at home want to join us? There's still time. Donuts, coffee, juice. We have a nice audience today, so hopefully one of these days you'll come on down. We always start our trivia with birthdays of the month, and in May we have Paul Halbrick on the 7th, Eileen Olin on the 10th, and Richard Kniedler, her birthday twin. Arlie Cap right here, and Tim Shawy on the 15th, Steve Horvath on the 16th, Margaret Shawy, Linda Gallus, and Joanne Llewellyn on the 17th, Liz Roosh on the 18th, John Bach on the 30th, and Leanne Byther on the 31st. Happy birthday to all you birthday kids. And if you see any of them this month, be sure to wish them a happy birthday. Nothing quite like being recognized on your special day. Let's begin, shall we? One of my favorite topics. The National Baseball Hall of Fame. We'll see just what you all know about this. And just as an added attraction, I've got a bonus question at the end after the real question. So we'll see how you do. The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is in Cooperstown, New York. Has anybody ever been there?
I think I have. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's up in the Adirondacks. It's like stepping back into 1890. It is a beautiful town, and unless you live there, you can't drive a car there. What you do is, if you're a tourist, you park your car about 3 miles outside, and they have shuttle buses that are out there on a routine basis, and they'll pick you up and bring you in, which was an interesting expedition for us because we had 4 kids when we were there, ranging in age from like 5 to 13, and trying to keep them all corralled wasn't easy, but it's a fabulous trip, and I encourage you all to go. It's operated by private interests. It serves as the central point of the history of baseball in the United States, and displays baseball-related artifacts and exhibits honoring those who excelled in playing, managing, and serving the sport. A lot of people don't know it, but the Hall of Fame was established in 1939 by Stephen Carlton Clark, the heir to the Singer sewing machine fortune. So Singer sewing machine has a lot to do with the Baseball Hall of Fame. Clark sought to bring tourists to the city hurt by the Great Depression. And if you've ever been there, I mean, you know, it's only a town of about 5,000. I don't know how much the Great Depression hurt it, but it was a very, very small town. And it reduced the local tourist trade, which typically was halfway decent because it's up in the Adirondacks. You know, just a gorgeous, gorgeous setting. And of course, after the Great Depression, tourism, which devastated the local hops industry. As of December 2023, 343 people had been elected to the Hall of Fame, including 241 Major League Baseball players, 39 Negro League Baseball players and executives, 23 managers, 10 umpires, and 36 pioneers, executives, and organizers. According to the Hall of Fame, approximately 260,000 visitors enter the museum each year, and the running total has surpassed 17 million. These visitors see only a fraction of its 40,000 artifacts, 3 million library items such as newspaper clippings, photos, 140,000 baseball cards. An expanded library and research facility opened in 1994. Dale Petrosky became the organization's president in '99. In 2002, the Hall launched Baseball as America, a traveling exhibit that toured 10 American museums over 6 years. Henry Aaron, Raleigh Fingers, Trevor Hoffman, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, Raleigh Fingers. Oh, I put Raleigh Fingers up twice. And so, yeah, that's what happens when you're typing your own stuff. And Ted Simmons are the former Brewer players that are enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Only Robin Yount and Paul Molitor are actually wearing Brewers caps. The rest of them had a stronger affiliation with a different club than they were playing with, and they would typically be enshrined with the club that they were most affiliated with. Bud Selig, of course, the former owner of the Brewers and former baseball commissioner, is also in the Hall of Fame. The first class of inductees, selected in 1936, comprised 5 individuals. Who were the initial 5 inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth is one. That is correct.
Very good.
Honus Wagner?
Yeah.
Honus Wagner is number 2. 3 more to go. One of them was known as one of the dirtiest players in baseball. And I think he played for the Detroit Tigers. Ty Cobb, that's number 3.
I know he was a dirty player.
There you go. Ty Cobb, we got 2 more to go. The last 2, I believe, were pitchers. Anybody?
No.
Anybody? Oh. Christy Mathewson and Walter Johnson. So the original 5 inductees were Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, and Walter Johnson. As I said, you're going to get a bonus question about the Hall of Fame. Who are the only 2 non-baseball inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame? They were never affiliated with baseball, but they've been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Who are they?
Abbott and Costello.
Yes! Abbott and Costello! Very good for their famous Who's on First routine. There you, I forget how it all goes, but I don't know who plays third base, who plays first, and every time Abbott would ask Costello, would say, it's classic. You would enjoy it. So yes, Abbott and Costello, the only 2 non-baseball players put into the Hall of Fame. Why don't you folks sit down and join us? It's only going to last a half an hour. And we have donuts right over here, if you would like some. And there's juice right around the corner. There you go. All right. We're going to move on. Our second one today. Who am I? We're going to take a look at young celebrities and see if you can identify them with their older personas that we are more familiar with. Who am I?
I'll take one though.
I'm going to guess this picture was taken in the 70s.
70s.
I'll give you a clue. He was on the boat the night that Robert Wagner and his wife who drowned. He was the 3rd guest on the boat that night.
I know.
What was his, I forget his wife's name, but whatever. Nobody? Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
He's changed a bit over time, hasn't he?
Yes.
Who am I?
Oh,
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, absolutely. A young Michael Caine and a more mature Michael Caine. Who am I?
oh.
Oh, man, the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
Ford. Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. I was reading this morning that Disney has announced that a new Indiana Jones movie is coming out. And obviously Harrison Ford is going to be the star of it. I think Harrison Ford actually, before he was famous, was on The Dating Game, a contestant on The Dating Game, and all the rest of that stuff. Who am I?
The cat or the person?
The person. The person. I actually met
See,
her,
I know
by
who
the way.
the cat was.
I met her when I was at PBS.
Nice.
When I was down at Miami Beach for a conference. She was one of our speakers.
Nope.
She was one of those that flew in, spoke, got on the plane, and flew out.
And that was it. Yeah.
Ken Burns was another one who would do that. He'd fly in, he'd speak, and he'd fly out. Who am I? She went to jail, actually, for insider trading.
That's not Martha Stewart.
Yes, Martha Stewart! There you have it. Martha Stewart. Who am I?
Wow.
We talked about her last week when we had British movie celebrities. You're going to pinch yourself when you see her, what she looks like today. You'll recognize her instantly.
Faye Dunaway?
Not Faye Dunaway.
She's
British.
Helen Mirren. It was Helen Mirren. Who am I?
Whoa.
Woody.
Oh.
Not Woody Allen.
No.
The hair would almost do it, but no, it's not Woody Allen. It's the other guy that looks like Woody Allen.
Yeah.
There's Woody Allen and there's another guy that looks like him. You're going to recognize the face, but I'm not shocked nobody knows the name. Larry David. It was Larry David, kind of a B actor, you know, never really starring in Indiana Jones type movies. You know, he's a bit player. Who am I?
Al Pacino.
Yes, Al Pacino. There you go, the Godfather himself. Who am I? Alan Alda. Obviously, he's best known for MASH, but I loved him when he was on The West Wing. I think he had a great role on The West Wing as well. For a season, I think he played a Republican senator and the president was Democrat, but he made him Secretary of State and, you know, kind of an intergovernmental type thing. Who am I?
James Brolin.
Yes, James Brolin. Very, very good. He was in a medical drama with some other was it Mark? It wasn't Marcus Welby, was it?
No.
But whatever. James Brolin, married to who's the singer that he's married to?
Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. That's correct. Who am I? He's changed quite a bit over the years. Still alive.
Oh, it's a he.
He played Gandalf. Yes, what's his name? It was what's his name. That's right.
Yes.
Good old what's his name?
Sir something.
Yes, Sir something. Sir something. Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh.
Sir Ian McKellen. Who am I?
Oh, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda. Absolutely right.
Stills.
You know, Peter Fonda was another famous actor from the family. An interesting tidbit about the Fondas. Peter Fonda's really the only movie he ever made that anybody remembers him for is Easy Rider. When he came along and did Easy Rider, there was so much more money in movies that Peter Fonda made more money as an actor in Easy Rider than his father Henry Fonda made in his entire career. Just an interesting tidbit. Who am I? Monty Python fame. A brilliant comedian, actually. If you're a Monty Python fan, you would know him. British, obviously. No guesses? John Cleese. It's John Cleese.
No.
He also did Faulty Towers.
Yeah.
Anybody a PBS fan know Faulty Towers? There you go. Who am I?
Oh,
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin. She's become a real icon. I just love Lily. She's really matured gracefully, and I love that. Who am I?
Oh.
He was on Taxi.
Yes.
In fact, I think that's a picture of him from Taxi, the character he played.
He also was Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, right? He was the crazy scientist.
yeah.
I don't think
Christopher.
Yes, Christopher.
Lloyd.
Not Walken. He was the first one we did today.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yes, Christopher Lloyd. There you go. Who am I?
Oh.
Morgan Freeman. There you go. Who am I?
Oh, he's a TV
I know it's on the tip of all your tongues. Stick out your tongues. Let me see. Let me see. Hector Elizondo. Hector Elizondo. I actually know him better as that than this, but whatever.
All right.
Who am I?
Oh.
We talked about her 2 weeks ago when we talked about famous British actors and actresses.
Yeah, Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith, absolutely. There she is more in her more famous persona as she aged and became the Dowager from Downton Abbey. So yes, Dame Maggie Smith. Who remembers the movie that I fell in love with Maggie Smith from? Who remembers?
Jean Brody.
The Prime of Miss Jean Brody, my favorite Maggie Smith movie. Did I need to bring in an extra chair? I do. I need to bring in an extra chair, right?
Right over there.
There's one here.
Oh, okay. So we have enough chairs. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna lie down on the couch. I just got out of the garden.
Yeah.
Okay. Who am I?
Audrey Hepburn.
Not Audrey Hepburn. She's another one that has the female version of being knighted.
Julie Andrews.
Nope.
Oh.
But it begins with a J.
Jay.
And it begins
Judy.
Yes.
Dench.
Yes, Dame Judi Dench. There you go. Who am I?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that guy.
What's his name?
But he has a different name that we all know him by. We don't know him as that guy.
She's got it.
What? Yes,
Yeah.
Donald
Yeah.
Sutherland, absolutely. From the movie MASH. We saw Alan Alda before from TV, but Donald Sutherland, probably his first big hit was MASH. Who am I?
Hot guy.
You know him more because of his voice than because of his face in movies.
Not you, that's not.
He was the voice of Darth Vader.
Oh.
Yes, 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 he's got 3 names. Pardon me?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, there you go. James Earl Jones. There you have it, everybody. That's our look at famous people when they were younger. Let's move on to our lightning round. We're going to take a look at Mother's Day. I know I should have done this a week or so ago, but I finally got around to it today. What is the flower most closely associated with Mother's Day?
Carnation.
Yes, carnations.
Yeah.
Very good. Carnations are the flower of Mother's Day. Who is known as the first mother according to the Bible?
I don't suppose it's
Eve, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eve from Adam and Eve fame. There you go. The first mother from the Bible. How many weeks does an average pregnancy last?
37.
40.
40.
Who said 40?
40.
40, there you go. 40 weeks is the average pregnancy. What is known as the mother of invention?
Necessity.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Very good. What is Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting Madonna Lita? What is it? What does it show?
What does it show?
The Madonna Lita. What is it a painting of?
Mother
Yeah.
Yes, a mother.
and
And child.
What is she doing?
She's
say that second word again.
The Madonna Lita.
Oh, Lisa.
Lita.
Lita.
Lita. L-I-T-A.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. 2 T's. Litta.
Mother of light. I don't know. That's not.
She's a mother nursing her child.
Oh. yeah.
That's what it is. Who is known as the mother of modern physics?
Physics.
Curie.
Yes,
Yep.
Madame Curie. There you have it. You know, I've had a trivia question about her many times. She's been deceased now for over 100 years. Her notes are still kept locked up. Why can no one review her notes from her experiments?
they're radioactive.
They're radioactive. They're kept in a lead container. And I don't know, maybe in 1,000 years they'll open them up. But yeah, Madame Curie, known as the mother of modern physics. Within 100. How many diapers does a new mother change in the first 90 days of motherhood? 90 days. How many diapers on average within 100?
400.
1,000.
I'm sorry.
400.
400, 1,000. Nope, neither one is within 100.
750.
Yes, 700. There you go. 700. Very good.
That's a cool idea.
What are the odds of a woman giving birth to twins?
What is it, what?
The odds of a woman giving birth to twins.
1 in 463.
No, much greater than that. Much greater than that.
You're kidding.
Pardon me?
1 in 2 million.
Much less. What I mean is that the odds are much greater than that. Much greater than that. It's less. It's greater than 1%. I'll tell you that much. It's greater than 1%.
Well,
So it's 1 in 70.
Well, we're getting closer. It's 1 in 33.
Oh, okay.
You have a 3% chance of having twins, and of course, it's it's kind of a genetic thing,
Right.
and I think it skips a generation, if I'm not mistaken. My wife is in a family of twins. Her younger brothers are twins. Which mother was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her work bringing help to suffering humanity? What mother?
Teresa.
Mother Teresa, absolutely. A Catholic nun awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. There you have it, everybody. That's our lightning round. This week it was on Mother's Day. We're going to move on. One of my favorite parts of the show. Finish this quote.
No.
We're going to take a look at Lynn Johnson today, born in 1947, still alive. The Canadian cartoonist and author, best known for her newspaper comic strip, For Better or Worse. She was the first woman and first Canadian to win the National Cartoonist Society Reuben Award. Born Lynn Ridgway in Collingwood, Ontario, she attended the Vancouver School of Art, now Emily Carr University School of Art and Design. With hopes of making a living as an artist, she worked briefly in animation, most notably as an uncredited cartoonist, cell colorist on the Abbott and Costello cartoon show. Now you see how I brought it all together today. Abbott and Costello just keeps coming back into our topics. I will tell you, by the way, For Better or Worse is still in the newspaper. I read it this morning.
Yeah.
In 1978, the Johnsons and their two children relocated to Lynn Lake, Manitoba. She's asked by Universal Press Syndicate if she was interested in doing a comic strip. She sent 20 copies of a strip called The Johnsons, based on her family, since we were the only people I knew I could draw over and over again with some consistency. The syndicate approved of the initial strips and offered her a 20-year contract. A 20-year contract based on, a couple of strips. After a 6-month workup, the strips first appeared in newspapers throughout Canada under the title For Better or Worse. The strip has been carried by about 2,000 newspapers in Canada, the US, and 20 other countries. Many storylines draw from her family. Her main characters are named after the middle names of her husband and children, with the exception of the mother, as Lynn Johnson has no middle name. Instead, she elected to name the protagonist Ellie. The characters in For Better or Worse have aged in real time. On August 31st, 2008, Johnson herself appeared in the Sunday strip, which was supposed to be the end of the cartoon, announced that she would take the story back nearly 30 years to soon after its beginning, and she started over with brand new additions, but younger characters. The new material was actually reworked versions of older strips with retouched artwork and new dialogue that was sometimes only tweaked to use modern expressions or product names in place of older ones. On seldom occasions, an entire strip or panel has been redone. Finish this quote. When opportunity knocks, don't. When opportunity knocks, don't.
Knock back.
You are so close. When opportunity knocks, don't.
Well, what did he say?
He said knock back. He is very, very close. When opportunity knocks, don't.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
No, knock is in it, actually. That's where you were really, really close.
Don't knock it.
Don't knock it was his guess as well. No, that's not it. When opportunity knocks, don't.
Answer the door.
No.
Not answer the door, no.
Back. Twice?
Not twice, no. Not knock back either.
Don't knock.
Once more around. When opportunity knocks, don't.
Knock.
What else is there?
Again. Oh, don't.
Don't knock opportunity.
Uh,
When opportunity knocks, don't knock opportunity.
Oh, God. Oh.
You guys were close. You were close. Don't worry about it. We're going to move on. We're going to take a quick look at the Battle of Bunker Hill, which took place next month, but in 1775. If you're from Boston and you're of a certain culture, you know it's Breed's Hill, not Bunker Hill. But there you go. The obelisk is actually on Bunker Hill. So all those people in Boston that are snooty about it, too bad. It's Bunker Hill. The battle is named after Bunker Hill in Charleston, Massachusetts, which was peripherally involved. The original objective of both the colonial and British troops through the majority of combat took place on the adjacent hill, which became known as Breed's Hill. On June 13, 75, the leaders of the colonial forces besieging Boston learned that the British were planning to send troops out from the city to fortify the unoccupied hills. Occupying the high ground protected the city that they were entrenched in. It would give them control of Boston Harbor, which was a way to get troops and material in and out. In response, 1,200 colonial troops under the command of William Prescott stealthily occupied Bunker Hill and Breeds Hill. They constructed a strong redoubt on Breeds Hill overnight, as well as smaller fortified lines across the Charleston Peninsula. By daybreak of June 17th, the British became aware of the colonial forces and mounted an attack against them. 2 assaults on the colonial positions were repulsed with significant British casualties. The redoubt was captured on their 3rd assault after the defenders ran out of ammunition. The colonists retreated over Bunker Hill, leaving the British in control of the peninsula. In terms of casualties, though, the British actually lost the battle. But in terms of ground gain, they won the battle. Depends how you look at it. The battle was a tactical victory for the British, but it proved to be a sobering experience for them. They incurred many more casualties than the Americans, including many of their officers. The costly engagement also convinced the British of the need to hire substantial numbers of Hessian auxiliaries. Hessian, of course, were German. German troops that the British hired to come and bolster their numbers in the face of the new formidable Continental Army. To honor the battle, an obelisk monument, an obelisk, do you know what an obelisk is? The Washington Monument is an obelisk. This actually mirrors the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., dedicated on June 17, 1843. Construction initially stalled on the monument due to the lack of funds, but Sarah Josepha Hale raised $30,000 for the completion. You can imagine in 1843 what $30,000 was. It'd be the equivalent of about $5 million today that she raised to finish it. Ms. Hale, my question to all of you. Ms. Hale was a very famous author of the day. What did Sarah Josepha Hale write that I guarantee you each one of you have not only read, but you've read it to other people? I guarantee you, you have all read what Mrs. Hale wrote. Not the Pledge of Allegiance.
A children's story?
Yes, a children's story.
It's a poem, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. The Legend of Sleepy, no.
Not the no, that was Washington Irving.
The,
But that's a great story.
Bunker Hill.
An author of a children's book. You've read it, and you've read it to your children and grandchildren.
A Child's Garden of
Not Yankee
Verses?
Doodle, not a Child's Garden.
That was a good
Even more common than all of these that you're saying. And it's a poem, but a good author can turn it into like 12 pages with pictures, you know.
Ooh,
She raised $30,000 because of her fame.
Paul Revere.
Not, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere? No. No,
Something like Mother Goose.
a clergyman wrote that. Yeah.
Something like Mother Goose?
Not Humpty Dumpty, but now you're on the right track. It's
Yeah.
something like that.
Mother Goose?
Old lady in the shoe.
you said
Not
a
the old
Child's
lady in
Garden
the
of
shoe.
Verses, right? You said
Not
a
Mother
Child's
Hubbard.
Garden of Verses.
I'm sorry?
Is it lullaby?
Yes, kind of. It's a lullaby. Should we look?
Yeah.
Are you getting tired of guessing?
Yeah, rocked by baby.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. The author of Mary Had a Little Lamb raised the money to finish the obelisk commemorating the Battle of Bunker Hill. We're going to take a look at our last topic of the day, Barack Obama. Born in August of, oh, look at that. Look at what I did there. I'm going to guess it's 1990. For those of you that are learning, I'm a two-finger typist with fat fingers, and sometimes I don't get into it. I'm going to guess that was 1961. We're going to go with that. The American politician who served as the 44th President of the United States from 2009 to 2017. As a member of the Democratic Party, the first African-American president in United States history. Obama previously served as United States Senator representing Illinois from 05 to 08, and an Illinois State Senator from 97 to 2004 as a community service organizer, civil rights lawyer, and university lecturer. He graduated from Columbia in '83 with a BA in political science, and later worked as a community organizer in Chicago. Probably followed the teachings of Saul Alinsky if you're an organizer. I'm a former Vista volunteer. We were all taught Saul Alinsky. It was the be-all and the end-all. He's the one who told me to always underset up a hall so that when you have to add more chairs at the end, it looks like a standing room only crowd. In 1988, Obama enrolled in the Harvard Law School, where he was the first black president of the Harvard Law Review. Obama was inaugurated on January 20th, 2009. 9 months later, named the 2009 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, a decision that drew a mixture of criticism and praise. His first-term actions addressed the global financial crisis, the 2008 meltdown on Wall Street, if you remember, the mortgage scandal that was going on at that time, with a major stimulus package to guide the economy in recovering from the Great Recession. Actually, the greatest recession at that time since 1929. A partial extension of George W. Bush's tax cuts, legislation to reform health care, a major financial regulation reform bill, which actually eliminated regulations, and the end of a major U.S. military presence in Iraq. After winning re-election by defeating Republican opponent Mitt Romney in the 2012 election, Obama was sworn in for a second term on January 20th, 2013. Obama left office on January 20th, 2017, and continues to reside in Washington, D.C. His presidential library in Chicago began construction in 2021. Since leaving office, Obama has remained politically active, even more so now. I see his name in the newspaper quite a bit now. Campaigning for candidates in various American elections. My question to all of you, and our last question for the day. Who was the first African American to have his name put forward for a presidential nomination in a major party's roll call vote? The first African American.
Jesse Jackson.
Not Jesse Jackson.
No.
It's before then.
I know it, but I can't think of it.
Is it on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I can't read it. You're too far away.
Was it Reconstruction?
It was in Reconstruction, that is correct.
Bond, Julian Bond.
You know, it's not Julian Bond, but I'll tell you, I met Julian Bond. Ooh. I was at the Fisher Hotel one day, and I'm on the elevator, and in walks Julian Bond. And of all the things you can say to one of the most famous politicians of the time, all I could think of to say was, I loved you on Saturday Night Live. And he said, thank you very much. He got off the elevator, and that was it. Who was the first African American to have his name put forward for a presidential nomination of a major party's roll call? And it was during Reconstruction. You're absolutely right about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember. Who were those dudes?
Yeah.
Potentially the most famous African American of his day.
Was he an inventor also?
Yeah, and you're thinking of the guy, the peanut guy. No, it's not him. He was a former slave. Should we look?
Douglas?
Yes! Yes! Frederick Douglass!
Oh.
Frederick Douglass on June 23rd, 1888. His name was put forward at the Republican Convention being held in Chicago. And Douglass received one vote from the Kentucky delegation. So there you have it, everybody. That's our look at trivia this week. I want to thank my producer, Scott McFerrin, my executive producer, Evan Riegler, my artistic director, Lauren Kobish, and my content director, my very own wife, Mary Beth Brever. She's the one with the two fat fingers that get on the keys and keeps everything. No, that's me. She's the one with all the good ideas. And as we sign off today, I want to remind you of my very favorite actress of all time, Betty White. She died in 2021, about 2 weeks short of her 100th birthday. And late in life, she had words of wit and wisdom for all of her friends and family alike. And my favorite was that everybody, absolutely everybody, should get 8 hours of beauty sleep every single night. Unless, of course, if you are ugly. In that case, you should get 9. If you're ugly, get 9. There you have it, everybody. That's our show for this week. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.